think
I mean,
shortly after 7 p.m.
Yes and no.
That's good.
Shortly after
just so there's
7
nobody
p.m.
tapping her.
We can do some. We can.
We do.
You know, they can do the laying on the rocks along the beginning.
That's
Just
good.
more laying.
That could stretch out a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll do a speech tomorrow. So
Let's
wait
go.
so they can.
Why did I get involved in this project? Originally, it was Vittoria's. It's her brainchild. Vittoria is an artist who's been living in Eastport for 3 years, originally from Italy. And we've worked together before, we've collaborated on projects before, and I think she wanted to, after having been here and worked in this place for a number of years, wanted to develop a project that would come out of the place that she was in, like kind of excavate the origins of Eastport and the beautiful and the nature, and how we could make something that really came out of this very specific place and unique. It's been very much a work in progress. As a choreographer, working outside has a certain amount of logistics and challenges that are unique to being outside, as opposed to, you know, if you think of a studio or a theater where you're kind of controlling all the elements. You have a floor that is made for dancing, you have your temperature is controlled, doesn't matter if it's hot or rainy or sunny, you have certain conditions that are sort of best for movement. And we don't have that here. Our stage or our studio is the outside. After doing a little bit of walking around, we sort of focused on this pier. In Eastport, it's a wood pier, and there's some rocks on either side of it, and that was the sort of starting point. And I tried to make movement that used the setting and used the space, and I obviously had to work with, you know, we're in sneakers, not in bare feet, and there's gaps in the pier, so we have to be careful. There's a lot of things we can't do, and at the same time, it's such an incredible backdrop. And I often think of movement, and especially my movement, as really coming out of nature from its origin. To me, it's sort of like natural movement, and so it feels like it belongs. In the work that I do, there's an element of movement that just has that same thing. It's not necessarily a story or you know, this happens and this happens. It just is, and it's a passing of time, and you're I think that's certainly an element of the work I do. And I think also, well, I'm sort of speaking for Vittoria and Eve as well, but and I think the challenge for us is, how can we use this thing that's so amazing and bring it into our work in an organic way. Also, just being in Eastport, I haven't been here a long time, but looking at the past and certainly some of the present, and just the way the town, the work that made this town and created this town and went into all these things this town is, of fishing or sardine factories, very labor intensive, which is, to me, how I think of my dance can also be that way, and the beauty of physical effort, and that work is a kind of virtue, and sort of watching the dancers, I call it work, because their physical effort is often seems like it's kind of a task or a work, and that it has this sort of transcendent quality of watching them accomplish or work through the day, and the beauty of that and effort, and that's also real life. You know, that's what people do. You get up and you work. I find that that's a quality that I ascribe to, I think, and has been a big influence on the kind of dance that I do.